If from the beginning you've already pre-decided that this is not for you, then that's exactly what's going to happen, and that's exactly the destiny for you. You're not going to make it, and it's not going to happen. Some days you wake up and you just don't want to do anything, and some days you wake up like you're on top of the world. Sometimes you need to learn how to balance these two things to make sure that you're able to be the best version of yourself every day. And how do you do that? Well, sounds easier than it is, but I think the main thing that we need to focus on is our mentality and really appreciate the things that we have and really start to value the life we've been given. We've only got one life to live. If we're treating every day like it's our last day, then for sure we want to do the most we can on that last day, because that's what we want to be remembered for. If it was your last day and you started thinking about it and you were having a shitty attitude and everything was just going south, and do you really think you would end the day that way and go out like that? Do you want to be remembered for that lousy character and that terrible attitude? Is that really what you want to be remembered for? I don't think so. So it's days like that where you got to think about what you want to be remembered for. You want to leave a mark in this world. We all want to make a difference in one way or another, whether that's through inspiration for others or whether that's just for self-fulfillment. But at the end of the day, we want to make sure that we're the best. So when we're having those bad days and those days where we feel like we just want to give up, then that's what we got to think about. And we need to understand that nothing's going to change unless we change ourselves from within. And the brain is very powerful, and the right mentality will get you very, very far in this world. I often grew up ashamed of where I was from because of the people that were there and just the view I had on everyone. And I always saw that everybody was very content. Everybody was always conforming to being normal or, just living a regular life. And nobody ever really looked beyond that. And as a child, I kind of always knew that I wanted to be something bigger than that. I didn't like the idea of following a culture and doing things just because of a culture. I liked the idea of having my own mind, making my own decisions and being able to do things that I feel are correct and following a life that I believe is right. And to me, what feels right is making a difference in the world. To me, what feels right is being out there, being seen, and being able to help others in many ways, whether it's through guidance, whether it's through laughter, whether it's getting somebody through a tough time. And to me, I want everything. I want all the things that are there to be offered in the world. I don't want just a normal life. I want all the great things. I want to live comfortable. And I've never met anybody that wanted it all as much as I do, or at least not shared it or expressed it vocally as much as I do. I feel like I talk about this all the time, and in my head I'm always thinking about it. I always dream and hope and plan and plot and desperately wish for this. And in my brain it's happened, and in my mind I always see myself being there. I remember as a child I would go down the street and I would see people in suits, and I would always think about that. And I think that image stuck in my head and always replayed itself over and over again. What are those people doing? Who are they? Why are they wearing suits? And why do they look so snobbish? I thought it was the greatest thing ever. At that point I knew that I wanted to be part of that world. I wanted to be a part of the world where you could buy your way into anything. A part of the world where you want it all. A part of the world where people are ambitious, where people see beyond the normal things, where people are willing to sacrifice it all in exchange for comfort and in exchange for doing great things in the world. I wanted to be a part of that world so desperately. I never knew how and I never knew what until I started getting older. And that's when I started to look at a couple different things. Growing up, I was always into cars because of my father. When we came to the States, he bought my first Hot Wheel toy. And that's when I started to get into cars. My first video game was Gran Turismo 2 on the PlayStation. I always thought he loved cars, but it turns out he really didn't. It was more so the fact that he had to work to provide for our family. But I grew up with the idea that he was an enthusiast, and I wanted to like cars, and I wanted to do things with cars to bond with him. But then it turns out that it just grew on me, and I got bit by that bug. And growing up, I was always so enthusiastic about car culture. I thought it was so amazing. However, I didn't see any money in it. I saw a very normal life coming from that kind of thing, and I guess at that point in my life I was okay with that because of the way I was raised and the people that were around me. I started to understand that it's okay to be normal, it's okay to be content, it's okay to live a normal life. That's when I decided to go to college for automotive technology, and I was just going to be a mechanic. Yeah, that would never work out. I think too far beyond, and I don't answer to people like that. I can't be somebody's puppet, you know? It's not who I am, and I would honestly hate my life. I feel like I'm meant to do more than that. That's when I decided to follow something different and really step outside the boundaries. I found myself looking at YouTube videos to learn how to do more exercises, and I started to follow a trend, and I started seeing a lot of people who were making a difference and being very, very influential to their peers. One of the best people I've seen doing this was Christian Guzman. I watched how this guy grew and grew and grew, not necessarily physically, but how his following grew. And I wanted that, I really did. However, I was never confident enough to do what he was doing. It was just something so out of this world for me. I guess just the way I was raised, we were very conservative people. We're never very outspoken. We were always kind of pacifists and very passive people all together. So it was all different, you know? I guess for lack of better words, it was very different. The idea of holding a camera to your face and vlogging and telling people everything you do and trying to motivate others, it was just weird, you know, but I liked it. It was it's fucking intriguing. And I saw all these people commenting, and I saw all these people talk about him, and eventually as time went on, this man opens his own gym. He starts from a little warehouse, starts with these little clothing that he has his name on it, and it just blew up. And it was amazing. And then Alphalete was formed. And then now he has a big gym in Texas. And he's able to inspire hundreds and thousands of people on a daily basis. And he was able to provide a better lifestyle for a lot of people, including myself. There's been so many times where I wanted to give up. Is it worth being cut? Is it worth being lean? Is it worth doing this? Or I'd rather just go out. And he stopped me from going out and doing stupid things so many times because I've seen his videos, and he's always such a positive influence. And I wanted to do the same. And that's when I picked up my camera. Eventually started learning more. Started following his footsteps. However, I'm doing something slightly different with my company, but nonetheless, he plays a big role as an inspiration to what I'm doing in my life. And this is what I want. And I've decided that this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. I'm going to do this YouTube thing until something happens and until my following grows. I want to be able to reach out to people. And social media and the internet is the way to do it. TV's dead, radio's dead, billboards are dead, newspapers are dead. All our attention is on the internet. I'm basically trying to fight for everyone's attention. That's all it is. And so are these big companies. Everybody's fighting for your attention. But nobody wants to listen to advertisement. Nobody wants to listen to you try to sell you your Nikes. Nobody wants to listen to you try to sell me your Adidas. People want to listen to stories. People want to hear your story. Everybody has a story to tell. I want to tell mine. And I want to document everything that I do. And I want to show you guys that it's possible for somebody like myself, very unathletic, very uninspired, very unmotivated, coming from such a background where things are very content, where people are very content and people are not willing to go the distance. And I want to show people that I can be different. I want to show people that I can come from such a place and break the barrier, break the culture, break that terrible content feeling, break that stupid idea and behavior. I want to be able to show people and prove people that I can do it, and that I was able to overcome that, and that I'm not chained or stopped by circumstances or anything like that. I want to prove to people that it doesn't matter where you come from. What matters is your mentality and the way you think and the perspective that you have and just the amount of belief you have in yourself. And that's all that matters. And I want to show that to people. So with that being said, I really hope that people really start taking an interest in what I'm talking about, and I hope people start to subscribe to my channel, because this means the world to me. I've never met somebody such as myself with such ambition, such drive, such want. Perhaps I need to start working harder to match my ambition. Perhaps I will. No, not perhaps. I will. Thank you guys for watching my videos. I appreciate every single one of you who's watching my video at this moment. You guys make this possible. I appreciate every single person who's listening to me and taking the time to listen to me. This means the world to me. And if you're new and this is your first time on my channel, please make sure to subscribe. Please make sure to like the video. Leave a comment. Tell me your story. Have you started a YouTube channel? If you have, put it in the comment. I'll watch your videos. If you haven't, then you should, because you have a story to tell too.